Hey and welcome. And today it's getting to be dinner time and I got a bunch of ingredients in my refrigerator that I need to use as quickly as possible, and we're gonna do it right now. And what we're gonna make is Southwestern beefy macaroni and cheese. And let's get her done. It's gonna be fun and yummy. I'm starting to boil some water to cook our elbow macaroni. That's salted water. And we're gonna make our meaty, cheesy queso sauce in this pan. So let's get started on that. I had a couple of burgers in my freezer and I pulled them out, and this is about a half a pound of ground beef, quarter-pound burgers, and we're gonna crumble them up in the pan, break them up and cook them up over medium heat. I'm gonna season our ground beef with some salt and pepper. Little sprinkle of chili powder. The reason I thought of this recipe is about some salsa that I made from ingredients from my garden. So that is well seasoned, so we don't need too much, but it's gonna be good. The second thing was cumin, and this is smoked paprika. And now we're gonna stir it up and break it up until it's no longer pink. As you can see in the background, the water has reached a boil, and now in goes our gorilla elbows. Give it a stir, turn the heat down a bit. Whoa, floaty. Okay. Now we're going to cook this for about 7 to 10 minutes till it's al dente. And looking down, our beef is getting there. Always when I make my macaroni and cheese, I like to sprinkle a little bit of flour on it. It stabilizes it, because the queso that I made from the salsa that I from my garden, I'm gonna have to add a little extra milk to it. So this will help stabilize it, help keep it thick, keep it from breaking up. And now it's time for our queso. Here's our creamy queso, made with my homemade, it's corn and black bean salsa. I think that somebody's walking a dog by the house because Kelly talking. I'm gonna get this all in there. Stir it around to incorporate the beef, the cheese, and the vegetables, and I think maybe I want to put a little more salsa in here. But I'm not sure. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna thin out this cheese sauce with a little bit of half and half, because I like my mac and cheese super creamy, and because it's gonna be baked in the oven, it's gonna absorb a lot. So we'll see how cheesy this is when it comes out. We might have to add a little more cheese to it, but that's about the right consistency for our sauce. Let's get it heated up. It is time to drain our pasta. I'm headed over to the sink. Our pasta is drained, our elbow macaroni, and I returned it to the pan with a few tablespoons of butter, and stir it to coat this pasta so it doesn't all stick together. I think this might be a little too much for the amount of sauce that we have. We'll play it by ear and see how it goes. We might make something else out of the rest of this macaroni. I removed some of the macaroni from the pan because I'm just not sure. I'm going to set that aside. We might need to add it back in, but right now in comes our queso beef and cheese sauce. It's going in. if I mentioned that my favorite salsa to make is corn and black bean. And so there's corn in here, and peppers, and tomatoes, and black beans, lime juice, and all kinds of good salsa ingredients. Mix this in with our mac and cheese. We'll make our mac and cheese with our mac. And I think we're gonna have to set that other macaroni aside. Here's our Southwestern beefy macaroni and cheese blend. And now we're gonna finish it up. And let's go on to the next step. I'm heating up the oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to spray a baking dish with some non-stick cooking spray. And in goes our Southwest mac and cheese, beefy mac and cheese. Ooh, I might have to use a bigger pan. Let's see. I think it'll be all right, but I'm gonna put it on a baking sheet in case it overflows while it's cooking. And there we have it in our pan, almost ready to go in. I always top my macaroni and cheese with crushed Ritz or potato chips or something, whatever I feel like doing at the time. Today, nacho cheese Doritos. So let's crush them up and top it up. We're gonna bust these guys up. So they're nicely crushed. Our Doritos are crushed up nicely, and they are going on. I think we're gonna use them all. Okay. Our Southwestern macaroni and cheese is topped up. And now to brown them up a little bit, I'm going to give them just a little squirt of non-stick cooking spray. You could use butter if you wanted to, but Doritos are already fatty. So, okay, now we're going in the oven on our pan so we don't overflow. And it's going to be about half an hour, and we'll see how she comes out. Our Southwestern beefy mac and cheese is out of the oven. The Doritos are nicely browned up. The bottoms are bubbling. And we're gonna rest it for about 5 minutes or so. It smells so good. Can't wait to taste it. But I am gonna wait for a few minutes so it serves up well. Here's our Southwestern beefy macaroni and cheese in a pretty little shallow bowl. And now we're gonna give it a taste. Thank you for joining me for a clean out the refrigerator dinner. Here's our beefy Southwest macaroni and cheese. On a fork, you can see the peppers, the corn. Those Doritos kind of crumbled away, but they're there. And now we're gonna go in and give it a bite. That was a good idea with what to do with those ingredients that I had. Homemade salsa turned into queso, some macaroni, some hamburg, and it really came out good. It's gonna make a nice dinner, and thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you again soon.